Okay, so Steve, I understand that you know how to tell direction without a compass. Can you tell us about
On
that?
the occasion where you don't have a compass or it's not working, the compass that you have isn't working right, you can find out pretty well where the points of the compass are using a simple method with a stick, providing the sun is shining. So if we hold the stick up in this position, you can hold it, Kai, it'd be helpful. I'm holding the stick up fairly vertical, as much as we can tell. We'll be able to tell from the shadow of the sun, which is up here, the shadow of the sun on the stick will point in that direction. If you can see that, there's a shadow, almost like a line, pointing in a certain direction. Now, at lunchtime, at say 12 o'clock, normally the sun is approximately in the southern part of the sky. So its shadow then will point towards the north. So, Kai, imagine as the sun moves around, we're at 10:45 right now, say at lunchtime at 12, the shadow will move what way?
Move this way.
That way, yeah. So maybe up about there. So if we look at, then the shadow will point that direction at 12 at lunchtime, pointing north. So we can say that's approximately due north. Okay, and then so south is then where? South, and east is that way, and west?
That way.
So you've got, in a very simple way, all the points of the compass using this kind of like a sundial. You're looking at the shadow of the stick cast by the sun.
So right now, it would be pointing, okay, it's going to be pointing north a little bit, northwest of north, because it's before noontime, is that correct?
That's correct. That would be west-northwest.
And what you're saying is you kind of calculate, make an estimate of where it's going to move to, and then that's your rough north.
You could actually approximate, without waiting for 12, you could actually guess.
Yeah, make a guess.
In that direction.
Excellent, and just as our sun's disappearing and our shadow with it. So, okay, Steve, it's just a few minutes after 12. Can you show us the shadow again? And we're going to check if that's how close that is to true north on the compass. So can you explain this as you go along?
Well, the stick can be placed in a nice flat spot where we can see the shadow. And the shadow of this stick now is pointing in that direction, opposite from the sun.
Right.
Okay? If we could put a stick down now.
Yeah. But don't you want to check that it's vertical first?
Yeah, that would be very important because we're on an incline and I'm not really sure if the stick is vertical.
If it's not vertical, it's going to be a little off. So one way to do that, we're using this as a plumb line. I'm a little trouble seeing it here. Just to judge whether that's actually properly vertical. Okay. So Kai, would you go put that stick down where the shadow is before? Okay, so that stick, Steve says, should be pointing pretty close to north-south. It's not going to be totally exact, but pretty close. Okay, we're going to stop. Steve's now going to check the actual direction of the stick. So we put the stick along the shadow.
On here.
Yeah.
And the sun is indicating that north is in that direction.
Yeah.
If we put this down with the north arrow of the compass pointing that way.
But put the needle at 340, so we're getting true north.
So the needle at
340.
340?
Yeah. Okay, so
it's off a bit.
It's off a bit. We're just coming closer here. Sorry, can you? Okay. Okay, so it's off a little bit. Why would it be off? It's not off bad, but it's maybe off 10 or maybe even 20 degrees. Why would that be, Steve? Why would it be off?
We're about 10 minutes after 12.
Yeah,
noon,
one factor.
And it could also be the time of the year.
Right.
Whether it's Atlantic savings time
exactly.
Or
so that
Atlantic time.
Because it's that's right. It makes a difference whether it's daylight saving or not.
That's right, yeah.
So we'd have to figure that out and make a time correction to when we actually do it. We'd have to calculate that for our particular area. But anyway, roughly, that's going to be north-south.
That's north. Roughly.
So that's a way to orient yourself if you're stuck and you lost your compass. and you got a shadow.